So from Wyatt Harper, I've never received any traditions growing up, but now I'm trying to start traditions that link to my Scottish heritage. Do you have any suggestions?
Start traditions.
Like activities or, I can think of a couple of ways to think about this, but you go ahead.
Yeah. If you're, let's assume he's starting a family, or it's, when you start a family, you start thinking about your mortality, you start thinking about passing things on, you start thinking about all that kind of stuff. So I would say find your tribe. Kind of start there. So either find a clan society, or find a Highland Games, or find like-minded people who want to go out and wear kilts, and start with that. It'll having a communal effort, a community to kind of call upon, or to join up with, or to celebrate with, is a great way to start a tradition. So if you're in an area where there's a Highland Games every single summer on the third weekend of September, then great. Start, going there every single year. Make it a tradition. Make it a plan to go there every year. Try to, talk to people while you're there, meet other people who have similar interests to you, and then you get to meet up with them every year. So that's kind of where I would go with it to start.
Yeah. I would say that whether there's two different levels to think about this, maybe even three. One would be as an individual, expressing yourself in your style, or things that you expose yourself to, like what you read, what kind of music you listen to, what kind of research you do for whatever cultural stuff, hobbies you get into. Like, in my case, I know a lot of people who, because of the Nordic thing, get into brewing mead. There's an individual approach, but then there's also a family approach where you're trying to share an experience with people who are close to you, either blood family or found family. And in either case, but especially with the latter, it comes down to forming a habit. So think about the calendar would be my advice. Basically, how much of a big deal do you make out of New Year's? Maybe you want to have a Hogmanay party, or start simple and make sure that you try to watch the fireworks from Edinburgh Castle with your kids, little things like that. Let them stay up for that special thing to see the fireworks from Scotland. Think about other things you do around the holidays is the easiest way to start, honestly, that you can incorporate into them. Do Burns Night, start introducing foods to your family that they might want to try. Make neeps and tatties. Try getting some haggis for a special occasion. Hell, have haggis with your turkey for Thanksgiving.
Breakfast haggises.
Yeah, find bedtime stories. But the trick is to make it consistent, because you're not going to form a lasting impression with especially younger people if it's not something that they can look forward to. When my family got into heathenry, there were a lot of things that we did that were the European twists on what people normally do for Christmas, that we incorporated in order to give the kids a sense of making this occasion their own, and it being a really important part of who they are and where they come from. And I can say now, it worked. I mean, my daughter has fond memories, and she's like 20 now, of doing things when she was 6 that really stuck with her. I have a friend who is Swedish, and they do the St. Lucia thing every year. Nobody around them does it, but they go to the St. Lucia service, and his daughter actually does the crown and everything, and does that tradition. So find things that they can incorporate on a regular calendrical basis so that you remember to do it, and then it'll work. And it's really about forming habits. I'm rambling, but the bottom line is it's about forming a habit if you want it to really stick.
Yeah. And also to make sure it sticks, to make sure you form the habit, get them involved in the process, not just the end result.
Absolutely.
Don't host a Burns dinner and do all the stuff yourself and then have them come to the Burns dinner, or, sit down for dinner and, here's your food. It's make them, allow them the opportunity, speaking as a father, to help prepare the haggis, or to help bring out the whiskey, or to bring out the whatever. Like, don't drink the whiskey necessarily. It depends on how old they are. But, pipe in the haggis, let them carry it into the room.
Sure.
Let them
Absolutely.
prepare the neeps and tatties with you. Let them do the stuff with you so that it's not just the end result that they're enjoying. They're going to remember the whole process.
Yeah.
And that way in the next year, it's like, oh, they're going to bug you to do it and you're going to bug them to do it. It's kind of like going to the gym. If you are accountable to going to a gym with your friend, then you will go to the gym more often than if you have to go by yourself.
Yep.
So hold yourself accountable and hold them accountable in the same way that they can hold you accountable.
Cultural accountability. I think that's exactly it. I mean, and again, on a familial parental basis, like maybe you host a whiskey tasting once a month. Yeah. Something as simple as that.
And if you have other guys that or girls that that drink whiskeys, great. Once a month, everybody goes out and buys a bottle, or two people. Maybe it's like 6 of them is too much, but maybe one guy or two people buy a bottle, and you try the different ones, and then you hang out and insert X activity here, but it's the drinking of the whiskey, it's the hanging out, it's sitting around the fire, it's telling old stories, old war stories, whatever. That's the thing, but the whiskey is the vehicle to get there, and that becomes part of the tradition. Is okay. This month we're gonna try this. This month we're gonna try that.
Yeah. I think that's it. It's just try and find something that you can do as a routine, whether it's for yourself or for a group, and I think you'll have a great time. It's a really good thought. I never thought about it that way. So,
agreed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. We got to use more of that stuff. Yeah, like I'm thinking about like our Halloween traditions are now, we go out together, me, Kelly, and Liam, and we pick out the pumpkins together. And we have an idea what we want to carve before we go, so we know what shape pumpkin to get. And then we have, a small, medium, large for the family members. So we always get 3.
We never do that.
Well,
okay.
No, but we each have our own designs, and we all help each other do
Okay.
it. It's now just become a thing. And I would, as a holiday grouch, for all of it, I would never decorate. I would never do anything. I think Christmas lights are pointless in the fact that you put them up and take them down like 3 weeks later. I would never. I am such an old curmudgeon in doing that because I'm lazy. But it's become a family thing, and I am held accountable from my son and from my wife. And then I had to remind them, hey, we hadn't carved the pumpkins yet. We only have 2 days till Halloween. Oh shoot, okay, we got to do that. So we're holding each other accountable. So it really does matter, and it really does keep it going when you're holding yourselves accountable.
I think you want to make sure it doesn't become burdensome. That'd be the only caveat, is making sure that it doesn't. It's like, I hate doing this, and then you don't find out until like they're 20 years. Like, Dad, we always hated that. We always hated cutting our own tree for Christmas. We really hated it, But
and the key to that is just don't set the bar too high.
Exactly.
You're not going to have a 7-course haggis meal that you have to prepare for a week in advance every single January 25th.
Yeah.
It's you set the bar low for. There's a couple little things that you do, and that's an easy way to carry it through.
Yeah, stress will kill a tradition or a love of heritage pretty quick. I just thought of another one. You could like keep a book of Burns poems or something, and just make a promise yourself to read one a night for a while, or one a week. Or if you're a church going person, you can find some of your own old passages and stuff from like the Scottish theologians and stuff like that, and actually do something that's kind of spiritual as well as heritage related on a regular weekly basis. There's a lot of ways you could do it.
Yeah.
If you are disciplined. Got to stick with it.
Indeed. All right. Sorry.
No, cool.
We were almost off, then I brought us back
I really like that question. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. Think back to your early childhood memories. What are some of the traditions that your parents started with you? And did you pass those same traditions on to your kids? Or what traditions have you thought of that you do want to share with your family and to make memories with your family? Let us know in the comments. If you like these types of videos, guys, we would love it. We would really appreciate it if you would follow USA Kilts and subscribe to the channel, and or give this video a thumbs up. Thanks, guys.